Three things. There was a sermon that was preached. There was a summons made. And then there was the response of the disciples and the response of the authorities and God. I don't know whether this is something that happens just in my shower or whether it happens in everybody's shower. But you're just looking forward to a lovely shower, and you set the temperature and everything's idyllic, and you get in and suddenly the temperature of the shower changes. Usually to boiling hot. Now, it seems to have a correlation with when somebody turns a tap on downstairs. I don't know whether it happens simply in my shower or your shower. But without any warning whatsoever, you're in hot water. The church, similarly, had faced troubled waters, hot water. For whatever reason, they now found themselves under the suspicion and under the monitoring of the authorities. I think it had something to do with Peter's sermon. Peter was not someone who felt naturally inclined to take the stand that he was taking, and yet he found himself thrust out into the middle of preaching a sermon. Now, the content of that sermon was significant. What he was saying about Jesus was highly important. He had described him as the holy and righteous one. He had described him as the author of life. He had described him as the fulfillment of Old Testament prophecy, as a prophet like Moses. And many of those descriptions of Jesus would have been understood by the religious authorities as they were standing by and watching. They would have accredited to those terms a high degree of significance and holiness. Not just the fact of how they would have considered Moses as being a prophet, but there was a belief that they pointed to another prophet who would come, who would be their deliverer or their Messiah. And how Peter was preaching this as the author of life, as the holy and righteous one, seemed to indicate to the listeners, particularly the religious who were gathered, that there was something special or unique about Jesus. The significant fact was that what Peter was saying about Jesus, he suggested that there was evidence to support it. Two things, two events supported the fact that Jesus was unique or special. The first was the resurrection from the dead. Literally, death could not hold Jesus. Literally, the grave could not conceal him. He was able, by the power invested in him as the Son of God, to raise himself to life. And he did just that. And Peter said, we were witnesses to this event. The physical resurrection of Christ literally took place. We were summoned to Galilee. And in Galilee we met the risen Lord, and it is the risen Lord that we testify of today. And because he is risen, we believe him to be the holy, the righteous one, the author of life, the prophet like Moses. We believe him to be special, sent from God. But here's the other point. He said, there's a man that stands before you today healed, who is over 40 years of age, has been disabled for a long time, and in the name of Jesus, this man has been healed. We have no supernatural power of ourselves. We are